Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Columbia City. So today is episode 14, I believe, and we are going to be doing a bunch of infrastructure work, more infrastructure work than we even did last episode. So last episode we placed a bunch of light rail lines throughout the city in addition to, I guess, replacing the skyscrapers in our skyline, or at least many of them, with new skyscrapers that work better for the city. And now we've got a completely, or well, not completely different, but very different skyline from where we started. But today we're going to be working over by that interchange that we built in the first episode, I believe, which was that huge interchange by downtown, which is based off of one in Seattle almost completely. I'll show you in a minute what it's based off of once we get over there. But right now I'm sort of working on the freeway that goes what would be east from downtown if this was Seattle. We don't really work much on this highway. I just wanted to get the basic infrastructure going as we started the episode. There were a couple of like loose ends on the interchange that I had to wrap up before we detailed it. We don't even detail it completely. Like, we get a decent amount of detailing in, but I mean, first here we're like wrapping up some loose ends. Like, this is just an area, or like, this is a ramp that I never actually made, which went from the highway that's on the viaduct through downtown to the southbound freeway. So then that connection is there now, and basically like everything's connected. And I figure, like, it's such a complicated interchange that I had to look over it like a bunch of times to make sure everything was connected. And then here's another loose end I'm doing it. This is the southbound freeway connecting to the eastbound freeway over here through this ramp that I had already made, but I made a new ramp on top of that. And yeah, so once again, this is like a stack interchange, like a crazy stack interchange. And they're actually roads stacked on top of each other for the east-westbound highway, which isn't really east-westbound. It's only eastbound, and then it goes northbound. It's weird. But I guess generally it's eastbound, westbound, in the general context of the region. But yeah, I mean, I think that's basically it for the loose ends we wrap up here. I end up, yeah, so in terms of detailing, we don't detail everything here. We detail a lot, we don't detail everything. We end up, I mean, basically working below the interchange a little later in the episode. Like, we'll build a bunch of industry stuff below the interchange, because that's what it's like basically in Seattle. I guess, okay, you know what, right now we'll do it. We'll take a look at the interchange in Seattle. This is what it looks like right here. It's a really complicated interchange. It's complex. It's not a simple one. And it's sort of right next to downtown, as you can see here, like right south of downtown is this crazy interchange with the Seattleites. I think that's how you say that. I don't know. I've never even been to your city, folks. I've never been to Seattle. But I think it's Seattleites is how you say it. The Seattleites in my comment section say that you can't call the 5 the 5. You have to call it the I-5, which as a Southern Californian is ridiculous, but I'll just try to stick to it. So the I-5 goes north-south here, and the other, I forget what the other freeway is that goes over here, but it actually terminates in the Seattle version of the interchange. And in our version of the interchange, it actually continues sort of onto the viaduct that goes near downtown, because in Seattle there's a different freeway that goes there, which now turns into a tunnel because there's no viaduct. But yeah, we basically just have very similar infrastructure, but different in a bunch of key ways. So it's definitely not the same as the infrastructure that you see in Seattle. But it's very much based off of it, just like that interchange in downtown New Windsor is based off of the interchange near downtown Providence, in basically every way, except its surroundings. Like, it's very similar. This one's also very similar. It's just at one end of it, it veers off into downtown rather than terminating. But we have the same sort of express lanes and stuff like that, which I'll show you a little later in the episode. Right now, though, we're working on pillars. So the pillars in this interchange are complicated because we've got all these different stacks. And then also roads running parallel to the stacks at different points. And I don't have stack pillars that are wide enough to handle two different roads next to each other most of the time. Or at least like 3 different roads next to each other most of the time. So I end up needing to improvise a little bit, but overall, like, just the stack pillars work really well, and they actually stick. Like, I thought they would just sort of disappear whenever I loaded my save, which hopefully won't happen. So far, we're actually fine. Like, I haven't had any trouble with that, because usually I do. Usually I can't get pillars to work, but I'm not using network skins actually for this. I'm using no pillars because no pillars is a lot lighter weight than network skins. Apparently there's network skins 2 now though, which I have not checked out, and apparently it works without lag, but I honestly don't need it that badly, and I want to minimize the amount of mods I'm using because my FPS is very erratic, which is another topic of contention here. My FPS is weird right now. It's really weird. So remember last episode I removed the Metro Overhaul mod? Well, yeah, so that improved my FPS to a decent degree, but I'm still having a lot of erratic frame rate drops, which make no sense. Like, whenever I zoom in on this interchange, it'll go down to like 10 or 12, but like I'm zooming in on stuff that's not really that detailed without too many triangles or anything, and I'm really confused why. So if any of you have had weird erratic frame rate problems recently, definitely tell me, because I never have this. It makes sense why my frame rate is dropping. Like, if I'm zooming in on downtown, my frame rate will drop, or if I'm zooming in on, I don't know, like, say I'm looking at the entire city, if it's like New Windsor, my frame rate will drop, and I'm okay with that because I know that that's just how it is. But this isn't making any sense. Like, you'll see in the live gameplay, I'll show you what the frame rate drops look like, and they're really confusing, and I don't understand them, and I want to get rid of them because I don't want them to get worse. And then there are places where they do make sense, like the Sydney Harbor Bridge that we placed in the last episode is lagging me like crazy whenever I look at it, and I'm probably going to have to remove it for something that's a lot lower on the triangles, because I need to use, you know, the assets that are the least laggy, because we're building a pretty big city here. I can't just be going around using extremely laggy assets all over the place. Alright, another thing I wanted to talk about quickly here is my editing style and how that is working right now. So, I have decreased the amount of time I have been putting into videos because I want to figure out how to make the best video possible in the shortest amount of time. So, the video length has actually increased because I've started doing live gameplay, which I feel like is a big thing that's gonna add a lot to the videos. Like, I know myself, I enjoy watching live gameplay whenever I watch City Skylines videos, which actually isn't even that often these days. I mean, I don't watch anything. Like, I just listen to a lot of music, which, I mean, yeah, I listen to a lot of music. Like, I'm a prog rock nerd, and I spend too much time listening to music, but I don't watch anything. I watch I watch some stuff on YouTube, not much, but not City Skylines, these days at least. But when I do watch City Skylines, I like my live gameplay, and I know a lot of you do as well, and it really helps put the city in perspective. So I've been doing that, which actually increases the length of the videos, and then also the time lapses, I've decreased the speed to 5 times speed. And I actually like this speed right here. It's just chill. It's satisfying to watch. It's nice. I can keep speed slider at 20% without any problems. It looks nice, it looks good, and it feels good to play, and it's nice. And then also, I can record less footage per episode. So this is about 2 hours of footage I record per episode, or something like that, plus another hour I have to put into cinematics and then getting the live gameplay, or something like that. And then another 2 hours or so of not recording and just being in game and planning stuff. And looking at Google Earth, because I don't just hop in game, press record for 2 hours and be done. I actually do stuff off camera, and so that adds up to about 5 hours in game recording everything all said and done. And I've been able to record audio and edit a full video in about 2 hours. So it's 7 hours per video these days, which is pretty good. I'm actually happy with that. And the videos are just nice and chill at the moment. I think especially because the specific music I'm using, I forget The specific artist, but it's from Epidemic Sound. It's Sarah the Instrumentalist is the artist on Epidemic Sound, whose music I am using basically exclusively now. And I'll probably shift to something new soon. I'm wondering if you guys would be okay with me trying to use a very heavy amount of like classical music or like romantic era music, because I would sure love that, because I could get, I mean, you know, it's all open source, so I could use, I think it's Muse Open, and just download as much classical and romantic era music as I ever want, and it's all obviously like incredible music. So if any of you would be interested in me doing that, tell me in the comments, because I remember when Flux used to use classical music in his videos. I don't know if he still, I don't think he still does, but when he did, I really enjoyed that. It was unique. It's really good music, and I'm able to use it for free. So tell me if you're interested in that, and I would definitely consider doing that. I would love to do that. And then, yeah, I guess that's sort of it. Like in terms of the editing, I'm enjoying the way I've been editing these videos. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't take too much time. It's chill. I've been actually very good at just recording a huge swath of audio. Like I could actually go the full 25 minutes without pausing if I really wanted to for the voiceover. Like I've gotten pretty decent at that, but I do have those sort of cinematic breaks in the middle of the video, because I know I like those when I watch videos. If I can get a nice little cinematic break, that's always nice, especially if it comes naturally, like in the context of the voiceover. Like I mean I'm sort of done talking about this topic right now, so I guess I'll give you another cinematic break right now, and this is sort of like the natural cinematic break that I like to include. See what I mean? Like, I really do enjoy adding those mid-video cinematic reels, because it's just chill. It's nice. It breaks the video up, and now we're back in the time-lapse, but you don't have to watch 25 minutes straight of time-lapse. You get a little eye candy in the middle there. And, I mean, I enjoy that. Once again, like, the idea is I'm trying to make it as easy to make videos as possible, because my schedule is not exactly going to be good in the spring either. I mean, I'm taking only 3 classes, which is good, but also I don't have weekends because debate. So it needs to be easy for me to make videos, because I want to keep weekly videos going over the spring. And I actually think it's possible, or at least more possible than it was for the fall. Like, I was never going to manage weekly videos all fall. Like, that was never going to work. But I think in the spring, I'm going to try. I have no promises, but I think it'll be better. And if I'm making videos more efficiently and I'm motivated with, which I really am with Columbia City right now, like I love this project. I'm having so much fun. Like, look at this industrial area. Let's just talk about what's going on in game. Like, this industrial area here's awesome. Like, look at this. We're using these new buildings by Spence, and I'm placing some like propane tanks near them, some dead cars, stuff like that. And we've got this like light rail line going through under the viaduct up there. It just looks so cool, and I've got all this scrap metal and stuff like that, piles, just all this junk absolutely everywhere. And this will be this transition into the industry that we're going to have around this area. And I mean, it's going to be a little bit of an abrupt transition into what's under the interchange with those industry buildings, because I mean, we're going to have apartments pretty close to those, but it makes sense because you can't really put much else under the industry building, or under the interchange. And another thing I want to do is I want to build like a Greyhound bus station in the industry area. That could be cool, where it's sort of accessible to other transit but sort of not, and we actually have like Greyhound buses going. That'd be cool. And then I also want to get the actual bus network for the city going as well. Like, I haven't started that whatsoever. I don't even know what buses I'm going to use. That's something I got to look into, because we're definitely going to have buses in areas which are sort of underserved by transit in the suburbs. We're going to have lots of buses. And because I mean there are, yeah, like Seattle and Portland use a bunch of buses because they don't have light rails absolutely everywhere. In fact, if you look at Seattle and Portland, like, they're talked about as really good cities for public transportation, but they're okay, but they're not great. If you look at Portland, for example, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of suburb in Portland. It's just a big suburb that has really good transit and cycling infrastructure near downtown. But elsewhere, the transit's a little bit lackluster, and if you want to get from one place to another, it can take a lot longer via transit than by car, which isn't ideal. And I mean, we have to some extent reflect that in this city. Like, we're not going to have an extremely extensive light rail network. It's going to be great. It's not going to be incredible, though. And it's only going to be great relative to a lot of the other stuff you see in the U.S. So we're not going to have, once again, incredible light rail going in the city. It's going to be really good, though, and it's going to be a nice network, which basically gets you places if you need to go there for basically any part of the city. And otherwise, you ride your bike, or you could take your bike on the light rail, and then maybe you could take a bus. But the light rail gets you most places, and then commuter rail will take you. I mean, ideally, I think, because remember, we're going to be removing the Sydney Harbor Bridge probably just because it's so laggy. I'm going to try to take both light rail and heavy rail over whatever bridge we end up placing there. And I might try to use a bridge from Portland if there's one in the workshop, because honestly, Portland infrastructure, just like a quick appreciation bit here, like, Portland infrastructure is beautiful. It's really cool. It's amazing infrastructure. Like, it's very underappreciated. I mean, the city's appreciated for a lot of its, like, it's stuff like cycling infrastructure, stuff like that. But like actual like bridge infrastructure, it's just cool infrastructure in Portland. Just absolutely beautiful. And I mean, you don't get a lot of infrastructure like that, you know, here in LA or anything like that. But Portland, on the other hand, has some amazing bridges. But I mean, it makes sense because Portland it's not a new city, and it's in a place where it's sort of developed, where its main, you know, the downtown area of Portland is on one side of the body of water, the river, and then everything else is sort of on the, well, not everything else, but much of the other stuff is on the other side. The airport's on the other side, everything's there. So you need a lot of bridges connecting downtown to the, I guess, the mainland, you could say, even though it's not really the mainland, which makes for a lot of cool infrastructure, and it's nice to fly around on Google Earth. I was exploring Portland's infrastructure a lot on Google Earth yesterday because it's fun. It's just fun. And yeah, I mean, I might take inspiration from Portland for my Union Station as well, and the way it connects to the light rail networks, because it does that pretty well. But Portland Union Station is, I mean, it's sort of older, and it's not as huge as my intention is for Columbia City's Union Station. And I also don't really, I could make a custom station like King Street Station. We'll see. That's going to be another episode. We're going to do a whole episode on the Union Station, and it's going to be a cool station. It's going to have buses, it's going to have light rails, it's going to have commuter rails. It's going to be great. But anyway, it's time to hop in game, take a look at what we've built, and I'll show you the FPS problems as well. Alright folks, we're in game. I'm going to show you the lag right now. It's bad. Okay, so this makes no sense. The lag, see, you're going to say it's because of the rain, but I was actually recording this a minute ago. I had to re-record it, and there was no rain, and I was still getting 5 FPS right here. 5. I'm getting 5 FPS right here. Here. Not looking at the entire city. Actually, when I look at the entire city, I'll zoom in here. I am now getting 26 FPS. I don't know why I'm having these frame rate problems. They make no sense whatsoever, and I need help trying to figure out what is causing them. But we're gonna do a little flyover here in the rain because it's the Pacific Northwest. It rains sometimes. Who would have known? Okay, so what we built this episode is this interchange here. Well, we didn't build the interchange. We detailed the interchange, fixed the pillars, placed the rocks, which look so cool, especially in the rain. They look weird in the rain, but they look pretty cool, especially because the other rocks also shine, so it makes it looks realistic. Sorry for the terrible frame rate. Once again, like, I should not be getting 5 FPS or 6 FPS looking right here, and I was getting about 12 before. Yeah, see, now I'm getting, like, with the simulation plus, I'm getting about 10. There is rain, but like I should be getting something like 25 FPS right now, considering what I can get in other parts of the city. It doesn't really make sense. So if anybody has had some like erratic FPS issues, please tell me if you're able to solve them and how to do that, because that'd be great. Yeah, so what did we do? Let's look around. So the detailing is interesting. We basically use these like forest, like the forest grass with a bunch of bushes and stuff. So like dirt decals, basic stuff. I've got like really like high depth of field on right now, so let me actually turn that off because it's a little bit annoying. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's easy to see. But yeah, like we got the guardrails in the middle there. I mean, they're a little bit crooked in some areas, but it's fine. We've got all these evergreens here. We've got a bunch of bushes. And then over here is my favorite part. Well, yeah, my favorite part's basically just this stack area right here. Just like looking at that right there. Yes, that's glorious. This looks like Seattle. I mean, it's like this looks like Seattle right here. You've got the industry down here, which is very, very much detailed. And I mean, just all these old semi-abandoned buildings, which are really cool. We got the piles, we've got decals and piles of junk everywhere. It's just a cool area. And yeah, here, actually, let's turn off the rain because it might make it like a little bit easier to see. Yeah, see, look at this. It's just glorious. I very much enjoy this. So yeah, that's the interchange. I mean, this was the main thing we worked on this episode. We didn't really do anything else. This is what the highway looks like over here. We'll probably have an express lane entrance somewhere around here. I'll move it over so that it's able to be like smack in the center of those. And it'll actually start to make a little bit more sense. And I'm going to turn this into a 3-lane. I don't know. I'll figure it out just so that it's even. And then we got the express lanes coming from over here over to just sort of across up there, so you can easily get into and out of downtown on the express lanes if you got the money for that. And I mean, yeah, like the frame rate is my main problem that I wanted to show you right here, because I should not be getting 5 FPS right now. There's no reason I should be getting 5 FPS. And then I continue over here like I'm still getting 5 FPS. Then I'm looking down right now getting 11 FPS. I should not be getting 11 FPS right now. So maybe there's some sort of problem I'm not identifying, and maybe you guys can help me with it. I don't really have anything else to like show you in this live portion, because I mean we've basically covered it. Like the rocks look great, just like right here. We've got some awesome cinematics coming up in a second, so you'll see the rest of the stuff in those. But I mean, yeah, that's basically it. This is the skyline right now, which I think is really nice and well balanced. I think it looks cool. And then from above, this is the city and how it looks so far. I want to fill a bunch of the areas near downtown, start working on the waterfront. We got so much to do. We're 14 episodes in, and it's going to be, I mean, a pretty big series. If we're 14 episodes in, I don't even want to know how little we're going to get done in the next 30 episodes. It's not going to be much. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. It helps out a ton. Helps new people find the channel so they can look at these beautiful views of our Seattle-inspired downtown here. And yeah, I mean, the YouTube algorithm really likes it, that when you like a video, it makes more, since it thinks that people enjoyed the video, then, you know, more people will be recommended the video, so more people enjoy the video. So YouTube gets ad revenue, because that's just how it works, folks. So like the video, helps a ton. Subscribe if you're new around here. Hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified whenever I upload, so you never miss a video. Or if you don't like notifications, like I don't, I mean, just turn off notifications altogether. You don't need notifications, really. Why? What? Oh, right. I need no abandonment. I got rid of no abandonment, and now a bunch of buildings are abandoned. That's not good. I gotta do that. Wait, no, I didn't get rid of no abandonment. I got rid of that garbage fire mod thing. I'll download that again. Oh, because that's, ooh. Yeah, I gotta go through here again, because I got rid of that, and then now it's messed up. So that's not good. I'll fix that, don't worry. Yeah, let's see what else. You can, if you want to fly around the city like I am right now, like the FPS is actually pretty good. Like I was showing you like the bad FPS. Like right now I'm looking up, I'm getting 35, 40 FPS. Like it's good in a lot of areas. So if you want to fly around the city and look at stuff and explore, you can hop over to my Patreon and get access to the save games over there every single episode. You get the save game over there. You could, if you want your video or your name in the video credits, you can hop over to my Patreon. You can get that there as well. If you want videos early, like this video came out like a week and a half early for patrons, hop over to the Patreon. Look at the helicopter, glorious. Or if you just want to generally support me, which is like genuinely amazing that people just do that. Patreon is my Patreon supporters are amazing. It's just amazing that you guys are willing to be so generous and actually help support me, because it does take a long time to make these videos, and I make way less than minimum wage actually working on videos. So it's a lot of time, but I love it. But it really helps a lot when you give support over there. So what else? You can follow me on Instagram for photorealistic screenshots. Like maybe I'll post something like this on my Instagram. Wait, let's see. Let's get something more photorealistic. We need something comprehensively photorealistic so you can see the quality you get on my Instagram. You get stuff like this, just really quality photorealistic shots of different neighborhoods in the city, of New Windsor, of Kellever Beach. So just hop over to my Instagram if you want those. Follow me on Twitter for updates and bicycle propaganda and stuff like that. I do that over there. And that's about it. Hopefully you all enjoyed. We're going to head off now, and I will see you in the next episode. So enjoy the cinematics. They're good ones today.